Wooks and Warlocks contains sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and as such is intended for adults. Listener discretion is advised. Content warning in the description, bro.
After the week the Happy Tricksters have had, you'd think they would be content to end their first day at Valley Jam with a nightcap and a campfire. But when the group noticed a flock of Fuzz officers lurking in the woods behind camp, they just had to follow. Whether it's for guns or glory, the Fuzz are at least sure to lead us to something interesting in the world of Wooks and Warlocks.
Round and around in the tunnel when it's dark we go, searching through the rubble for what.
Hello and welcome to Wooks and Warlocks, a role-playing tour through the summer of love. In this podcast, we will be playing out a story of adventure and magic, using dice and skills to determine the outcomes of our actions. My name is Trey Miller, and I will play the role of Game Master for this journey. I am joined by 6 of the finest folks to roll the dice. Please introduce yourselves and your characters.
My name is Anthony Ryan. I'll be playing Xxzantor, the Bugfolk Ranger.
My name is Joshua Fox, and I'll be playing Brody Malone Man.
I am Vanessa Suchek, and I'll be playing Remi Riz.
I'm John Lombardi. I'll be playing Elijah Woodstone, the enlightened farm wizard, Elkfolk.
I'm Lawson, and I will be playing Norlan, the good boy.
Hi, my name is Jessie, and I will be playing Granny Glenda. She's a half-fox folk rogue.
When we last joined the Happy Tricksters, they had just arrived at the Valley Jam, the first real music festival the group has encountered on the road to see the Warlocks. If the handbills and flyers posted around the festival grounds are to be believed, and the hype from the festival goers to be trusted, all signs point that in one short day, the Warlocks themselves will be treating the entirety of the population of Valley Jam to a musical performance. While waiting in line to enter the Valley Jam, the Happy Tricksters and their new friend Remi Riz encountered another time-strewn traveler, Norlan the Good Boy, a dogfolk fighter in search of his master, who has lost his siblings, his littermates, to the infectious, gluttonous nature of the Wook lifestyle. King Kenzie, Xxzantor, Remi, and Granny Glenda invited Norlan to join them at camp, and he enthusiastically agreed to help protect. The crew entered the festival, where they were summarily accosted by an additional party member who had been at the festival grounds waiting for the Happy Tricksters to show up. Brody Malone, the troubadour of festivals, the Casanova of cool, had placed a campsite for the Happy Tricksters to visit and trapped it with fireworks, smoke bombs, sparklers, zingers, zappers, and all the above. And while the crew was setting up, the bomb exploded, and the new folks were introduced to a new friend. After these introductions, the group traveled through Valley Jam to the vendor row, where they encountered the boar bartender, Scotty, that they had previously met at the Renaissance Fair. Further travel took them to an even greater surprise, where they encountered none other than Jimmy Jam, the vendor who had started the party so readily with the supplies that they needed. Jimmy Jam once more set the group up with simple supplies, and they returned to camp with hopes of enjoying the festival and perhaps performing a grift. The greasy group attempted a ring-tossing game and a wrestling match in hopes of generating some income, but bumbled the execution in such a way that they only confused their fellow festival goers and neighbors. But while the rigmarole unfolded, Remi spied a group of uniformed officers, members of the Fuzz, walking hurriedly through the woods, and some sort of chatter came from boxes on their bodies that spoke of gassers hiding in the woods at the festival. The happy tricksters and the time-strewn travelers followed the Fuzz into the woods in hopes of aiding them in removing the gassers, or perhaps murdering them and stealing their guns and ammunition. Whatever plans the party might have had for these folks were foiled as the 3 sets of tracks they followed quickly became 2. Then the 2 sets of tracks became 1. Then the party found dead, strewn up in a tree, a pig folk Fuzz officer, serving as a warning to all who would pass by. We return to our adventurers just as they discover this scene.
Whoa. You guys see that? What is that?
I already told you, Sonny, it's art.
That's a bloody pig up in a tree, hanging from a tree. What, Brody, you on any of this stuff, man?
Whoa, man, no, I've never seen anything like this before. This is far out. This is way heavy.
Yeah, that looks like one of them officers we were just following.
Yes, art, I see. Okay.
Well, what's left of them?
Let me see if I can get a good smell on this guy. Yeah, I'm gonna take a big whiff.
Go ahead and roll for perception.
Oh, dang, did we ever sniff the gas? Do we know what it smells like? I could try to get a smell and see if I can smell that gas.
7.
With your 7, your nostrils are overwhelmed by the scent of blood, and the freshly opened wounds, and also the bacony smell of the pig flesh.
This is definitely a dead pig.
To speak to Eli's question about whether or not you smelled the gas, you did smell a sickly sweet aroma in and around the van when you first encountered the gassers, and you would have identified that as unnatural. You can go ahead and roll for perception to see if you smell that smell.
18.
With your 18, you realize that there is a tinge to the air, and it is coming almost like an atmospheric bubble is wafting towards you from the woods to the group's left as they walk through this makeshift path.
Y'all, I can kind of smell some of that gas in the air. Last time Granny and y'all kind of wheelbarrowed me and I could smell the ground, but this time I kind of need to get up into the air. Perhaps I could get on this dog's shoulders
You think this looks like some kind of trap or something? Do you? He's hanging up in the tree, right? Can Xxzantor do like a survival check to see like if this is some kind of trap?
Yeah, roll for survival.
You guys think it could be like a message or something like that, bro?
Well, I suppose it's always possible. These gassers are known to, it's like the proverbial skull on a stick, you know.
It's an 18.
With your 18, you're inspecting the rope to see if there's any sort of a trap. You're seeing if this looks like it is intended to lure someone in.
I'd like to follow it back to like its starting position or something.
Yeah, the rope seems like it is a stout rope tied to the legs of this officer, holding him up in the tree. You do not notice anything nefarious about the rope itself. It seems like more than a trap. This is a message to stay away, like they're marking their territory. As you're investigating the rope, you hear a sound coming from the shoulder of the breast area of the left shoulder of this pig Fuzz, and you hear coming through the static.
Officer Shannon, come in, Officer Shannon. Did you find the gassers? Is there any sign of the rival gang from the abandoned town? Do you see them? We're on the lookout for counterfeiters and murderers who seem to be in direct competition with the gassers. They stole their supplies at the last one. Did you find any sign? Do you copy, Officer Shannon? Do you copy?
Xxzantor looks at the group and he's like, smash it or talk. What do y'all think?
I mean, somebody of authority, I mean, they could probably...
It's definitely the Fuzz, man. Definitely.
I am very confused as to what this speaking box attached to his chest is. It is an anomaly to me. Is this magic?
It's like a communication, I'm sure. Some kind of magic.
Well, any science sufficiently advanced is indistinguishable from magic.
Yeah, they're walkie-talkies, bro. You know, you've never seen one of these before?
Walkie-talkie.
Perhaps if we answer and tell them what happened, they will send more help?
I've seen, heard of a stone variety of this sort of technology, but this one seems to be a little bit more direct and doesn't seem to be used in any magic.
Well, I personally think we should not contact these people. I mean, they have my needles, and as soon as they see my other set of needles, then they will probably assume that we are the guys who need to be locked away.
Smash that shit.
I'd like to put them up against whoever set these traps. If we bring them in and like go into the woods and like watch all the stuff go down and like see if they can just take each other out, at least we'll get more information.
I mean, well, it seems like we've walked in the middle of like a gang war or something like that, just judging by what we heard. Sounds really intense.
I do believe that we should probably vacate the current location. If the communication on said officer's chest is to be believed, we need to vacate the premises because they will come this way. They will find us. They will find us.
Y'all don't think they're referring to us?
Nah, they'll find this.
The murderers.
They'll find this. Maybe we, if we smash it, they're coming anyway, right? Like, it doesn't... I don't know. We need them to find this and fight whoever set this up, and we'll go loot it all.
Well, Sonny, you know, I'm not really sure that's the best idea. I mean, what is smashing it really going to gain us anyway? I mean, they're going to show up either way if somebody else answers or if he doesn't answer. So I think we should probably just get to hiding.
Admittedly, I don't mind Xxzantor's idea. It seems like I've never been one to... I'm not a fan of the Fuzz myself. They're a bit... They claim to be neutral. There's just something. They've never been any friends of mine, but I dare say we could take the walkie-talkie, the radio, and we could bring it with us wherever we are inclined to go, and then we would have access to at least listen in on their communications. If you would like to speak with them. It surely should not be me. I have a recognizable voice, but if any of you could imagine what Officer Shannon might have sounded like, then you perhaps could respond. But what if we get Officer Shannon's voice wrong? It does seem like Granny Glenda has a point.
Just a big cop. Big cop.
He's a big cop, yes.
Oink, 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 says Xxzantor.
So,
That is not accurate, Sonny.
Maybe we just hold on to it and don't necessarily communicate back to it, but can listen for updates and kind of like know where they're at least. And if they get updated, if they find out where the gassers are, they'll say something maybe, or if they find out where that other crew, which might be us.
If we take something from the body and they find us, they'll know we touched the body. I think that's a bad look. I think maybe we just run.
I don't have fingerprints as a bug folk, as everyone knows. So I mean, I've already touched the rope. I'm just gonna go ahead and grab this thing. He tries to rip the radio off the body.
Go ahead and roll sleight of hand.
I say we follow my smell and follow the smell of this gas and get some answers from them gassers.
With your 12, you manage to pull the radio off the body, and you see that it is two parts. There is a coiled string wire connecting one box that has a button on it, and that's where that's the part that was connected to the officer's shoulder. You see that on his hip was a larger box with an antenna. You have both pieces now. It is still occasionally chattering, mostly requesting that Officer Shannon check in. As you remove the radio, the body, evidently poorly tied in the haste of these murderers, falls to the ground and makes a crashing sound. And in the distance, you hear a familiar call.
Can I feather fall the body?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Xantor's okay though, right?
Xantor's fine.
Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, as I see it fall, oh man, I don't know. Actually, I want to do that, but I'm not sure if Eli's going to be that quick.
Yeah. Well, you can always give it the old D100 roll if you're feeling indecisive.
I think that's fair. So if it's lower half, we'll do it. Higher half, we won't.
Okie dokie.
We will not. It's 89.
Alrighty. So, although it would have been a great move, Eli does not think to feather fall, and the body crashes to the ground. And in the distance, you hear a familiar sound that sends a chill down your spine. The familiar call of the Wook echoes off the trees.
That's the sound them fools were making that poisoned us, y'all.
Those bastards. Do we go in that direction, or do we concentrate on what we're dealing with in the moment?
I'd say, alright, I got an idea. Quick thinking, on my feet here. We have one or two people hang out, and like the rest of us hide, and kind of use them as bait. And if they get ambushed, then we'll jump out and, get
So you'd like to set a trap here? I will clarify. The sound of the Wook noises came from the same direction as the wafting smell of gas.
Oh, okay, it's not like approaching us.
It is not approaching you.
I heard that wrong.
It is in the distance. It does seem to be in response to you guys interacting with that body and it dropping, but the sound is coming from the same direction that you're smelling the sickly sweet gas.
Stealthily head towards it, I think, is the move.
That noise is eerily similar to the sound of the rock ape. I do believe it may want to mate with us.
Son, I do not know what you are talking about.
Come again?
What did you just say?
We are all very confused.
We're all super confused, and the only one who's actually from this world is our man BM over here, Brody Malone. Like, do you know anything about these freaking Wooks, man? Like, what is going on with these crazy things?
Would Brody know about anything?
Brody knows. He knows about the Wooks. He knows that the Wooks are an offshoot of the other traveling festival groups and gangs, and that they tend to be younger and have developed gluttonous tendencies, are inclined to borrow without asking for extended periods of time. They're not typically violent so much as they are smelly and dirty and inconsiderate and inclined to hustle and trick.
And we're assuming they still have the stuff, right? They still have Granny's ashes in your book and stuff.
And the astrolabe, and also the brother and sister, or the siblings of Norlan, the good boy.
You think it's the same ones? Or maybe like that's just like a common thing amongst a bunch of them. I don't know, but it's worth checking out. I said we stealthily approach this noise and this smell.
I am loath to face the rock ape, but if they have captured my siblings, then honor bound I may be.
Whoa, they got your brothers and sisters, bro. We gotta get in there then. All right.
Do we want to split up? So we want to do it stealthily, but we're
Eli is shaking his head.
I do not think we need to split up.
Yeah, let's sniff them out together.
All right, so you are on an old abandoned path in the woods, once heavily trodden but now overgrown with underbrush and covered in fallen limbs. The sound and smells are coming from your left, where the woods are more dense and plateaus, piles of rocks, small cliffs dot the area, making a separation between the main forest and a further distant area of the woods that you cannot quite see clearly from here. As a group, you walk towards the smells and sounds that you're perceiving. Go ahead and make a stealth check.
Am I able to use mold earth and kind of like, instead of making that like difficult terrain, make that rocky terrain less difficult for us to cross through?
The rocky terrain is not difficult for you. These rocks are the size of buildings. This is like we're saying that you're walking through, sort of picture like a piles of rocks, old fissures, where the crusts of the earth might have hit together and made a natural small wall in the woods. Perhaps ancient peoples have tooled these in a way that makes them even more structural. But these are huge, monolithic, rocky outcroppings and boulders in the forest on this mountain.
I'm not quite that powerful yet.
And still, like as far as terrain, like mountainous terrain or forest terrain, I'm checking for Xxzantors.
Yeah, we said that. Although this is technically we gave it to you at,
nice.
You
22 on stealth check. Then.
Yeah. So everyone roll their stealth checks.
Granny Glenda got a 15.
Dirty 20 for Remi.
Norlan is still kind of drunk. He got a 5.
Brody's never been in this kind of situation before, so he doesn't exactly know what he's doing. He got a 7.
All right.
Eli got a 23.
So the old guard, as they say, the happy tricksters, the original crew, with the chemistry of secret agent super spies, moves through the woods, silent as night. They use trees, shadows, bushes, and rocky outcroppings to hide their passage. They step over brush in ways that is noiseless. Then Brody and Norlan, attempting to recreate this stealth, stomp and trod through the underbrush, breaking limbs on trees as they pass, metallic items and jewelry on their clothing catching and ringing. Is Norlan still unclothed?
Norlan is in his long johns and still rather greasy and kind of, he's coming off his buzz. He came off his buzz with the whole dead body.
In the final, and in the finale of your loud tromping through this stealth attempt, Norlan steps onto a rock, and his greasy
Yeah.
paws cause him to slip and land on his back. Norlan is now prone. You all made it roughly 30 feet off the path towards the rocky outcroppings. Everyone who successfully stealthed will get a chance for a perception check now. Roll for perception.
Look, and we can still talk on this radio at any time. Anybody who wants to do a pig voice, we can bring in the army and just step back and watch the fire, babies.
We have no idea what he sounded like. It's a hell of a gamble.
We just tell him where to go. We just tell him, hey, it's right here. I'm here. I'm your officer. I'm dead.
We found your friend.
He
decommissioned.
looks like a big wook,
Your pig voice isn't very good.
No, mine is horrible.
Eli rolled a 5 for perception.
I got a 10.
Remi rolled a 15.
I got a 7.
15, thank you.
All right, so given that it was Remi who rolled this perception, what you see, Remi, is that on the large rocky outcropping that the group is using as cover to hide, there is a dirty, smelly, dreaded individual standing and looking down at Norlan and Brody. This individual is a large gorilla folk, muscled with black fur and a white stripe.
Guys, there's a large creature over there that's really smelly.
Do you think it could be one of those god-awful wooks we've encountered?
Do you point it out to
Where am I looking?
Yes, I do. Remi points it out. Look over there.
So Remi points upwards at the rocky outcropping that some of the group members are hiding behind. At the top, Xxzantor, Granny Glenda, and Elijah Woodstone would recognize the gorilla folk wook Raccoon.
That's that stinky bastard from the camp.
He's got my grandson's ashes. Let's get him.
As you take in the moment, you hear Raccoon yell, "Grrrr!" a warning cry to whatever gangsters are hiding in the woods. Roll for initiative.
Can I use a thaumaturgy real quick to yell something in a big booming voice?
You can do that. That's good.
Just Wooks will burn tonight.
All right, and with that, we will go ahead and start the battle. I'm going to
want to do all that. Did we want to jump in? We're in Murder Central, baby. We'd say,
So who got over a 20? No one got over a 20. Who got between 20 and 15?
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Nobody got between 20 and 15. All right, who got between 15 and 10? Please say your names.
Elijah got a 13.
Brody also got a 13.
Remi with an 11.
All righty.
We're gonna kill them. We're gonna kill them all. We're gonna take their shit. Can I say that? We're gonna take their shit.
Who got between a 10 and a 1?
Granny Glenda got an 8.
All righty.
Norlan got a 7.
And Xxzantor got a 6.
Something tells me where there's one of them, there's going to be more of them.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be a pile of stinky wooks.
Rock apes.
As Raccoon shouts a warning cry, you hear rustling and movement in the woods. A cloud of miasma-like smoke envelops the area, limiting your visibility beyond the trees and rocks that you currently are using for shelter, you can barely make out fortress-like walls surrounding a camp in the smoky shadows. And the fortress-like walls are made from trash piles of discarded festival rubbish and refuse. In the distance, movement indicates Raccoon is far from alone. Given that he rolled a 17, he's going to act first. From his position on top of the rocks, he looks down at Norlan, who caught his attention first. He points at you, and you feel a curse manifest inside of you as you are hexed for dexterity. And he is going to then, with an open fist, reach out and open a hole to the nether realms and hit you with an eldritch blast. Does a 22 hit? That's a really high roll.
Oh yeah, that definitely hits. I mean, Norlan is half naked right now. So.
He's half naked on the floor. So this eldritch blast cuts from the fabric of reality itself, and a streak of blue and red light spins as it hones in on the center of your chest and boom, hits you full force. Dealing... Well, it hits you accurately, but it actually deals very little damage, as even with the hex, Norlan's constitution is able to withstand the blow. You take 3 points of damage. Rolled a 1.
Wow.
Yeah. Level 3, baby.
Brody, Brody, it is your turn.
I don't think Brody has ever seen an Eldritch Blast, so he's like probably pretty freaked out. I guess he would be like, "Whoa, bro, what the fuck? Just calm the hell down, man. This is far out as hell." And he's gonna run for some cover, whatever the closest cover is.
Yeah, so there are a lot of it's a densely forested area. There seem to be almost like fortress walls of trash in front of you that you could hide behind. To your right and to your left, surrounding almost like a second outer wall, are these huge outcroppings of rocks and small plateau like cliffs. So you could hide behind a tree, trash, or rocks.
All right, I guess I'll find like the closest pile of trash and go try to hide behind that.
So if you're gonna move into the pile of trash, that's gonna put you closer towards the action. It's gonna actually put you past where Raccoon is up on one of these rocky outcroppings in between the forest path that you were walking on and the camp that's in the distance.
Okay, yeah, I would try to hide away from him, and just like right before I get into cover, I'll just be like, "Dude, you are totally harsh in the bribes, bro. Like, fuck it, why don't you just stop?" And so first, I guess, I mean, Brody doesn't really know how he's doing it. He's just, but like the past 3 weeks, he's just been, whenever he says stuff, it just kind of seems to happen. So like, he doesn't know it, but as a bonus action, he's gonna do unsettling words. So I'm gonna use the bardic inspiration to take away from that guy's next saving throw.
Nice.
And then for my action, just like telling him to stop and just like not do anything, I'm gonna once again, he has no idea what he's doing, but he's gonna cast Hold Person.
Oh, awesome. All right. So what is the save? And you're gonna subtract from this, is that correct?
Yes. So it's a wisdom save 14.
Oh my goodness. If you don't have to use that unsettling words, maybe save it, because he rolled a 3.
Oh, okay. Okay then. All right, I'll save the person.
He is now the whole person is paralyzed, and he has a wisdom save to try to get out of that at the beginning of his turns.
At the end of each of his turns.
All right, so he is cooked. You have moved past and behind him to shelter yourself in the rubbish.
And then just looking around, like just looking for anything to like, I don't know, defend myself with or something like that. But he's very unsettled right now. This is not a situation that he's usually
sure.
in.
So you can roll for perception to see if you find anything useful nearby.
10 total.
Yeah, with your 10 in the refuse pile that you are finding shelter in, you see that there are glass bottles that you could throw or break.
Going full outsiders, greasers style.
All right, and so you have that broken bottle now that you can use as a dagger. Oh. Up next, we have Elijah Woodstone.
Alright. I'm still hidden from the stealth cohort, or does he see me?
Everyone except for Brody and Norlan are currently stealthed and would have advantage on any attacks unless you revealed yourself.
Is there, can I see any loose stones or like rocks around us?
So many rocks that it is an absurd question.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very rocky. So I'm gonna go ahead and you're gonna see Eli in his hiding spot crouched down. He pulls out his little moleskin and scanning through the pages, and you see almost like a sort of force in the shape of like a swinging arm that like lifts up a cluster of rocks and throws 3 of them upwards at the gorilla man. And let's see, it's going to be a dex save of 15.
Is this catapult?
Yeah.
I believe he automatically fails dexterity saving throws when paralyzed.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. So he's just going to take that damage and make contact with all 3 of them, and that's going to be 13 points of bludgeoning damage.
Awesome. What spell was that?
It's catapult.
Yeah, cool.
So you see, it's like a mystic sort of like form kind of appears, and you can see it has sort of a swinging arm, and it just like scoops up some rocks and like flings them upwards.
Is that your turn?
I don't think I need to. Actually, you know what? And I'm also going to bonus action cast Dragon's Breath on myself.
Alrighty.
So I'm gonna grab my amulet, and it's gonna glow, and then like around my neck area, we'll run some green veins that are gonna be representative of some acid damage I'm gonna be able to cast.
All right. As your body almost like a BioShock character using one of the empowerments, you begin to glow with the acidic energy that's going to burst out of you. Elijah has revealed himself to the unseen attackers in the distance. They are rustling and moving to get closer to the group as they are behind the wall of rubbish in a camp that is becoming slowly visible as the wind blows the smoke cloud away. Remi, it is your turn.
1 second real quick. I don't know how rough I didn't use any movement. How rough are those rocks, that rock face in front of me? Am I able to climb that at all, or would I need like gear to
Yeah,
climb
you're able to attempt to climb up the rock face. Elijah is Elijah is hidden at the foot of the rocky outcropping that Raccoon is standing on top of. And if you'd like to attempt to climb up there, that'll be an athletics check.
Yeah, I'll use my full movement to get as far up it as I can.
for the convenience of our game, we'll say that there is a part that is the 15 feet of climbing speed that your character would have.
Ooh, you said acrobatics?
Or athletics.
Or athletics? Oh, they're the same. It's going to be a 12.
All right, 12 is fine as long as you're over 10. You're not going to fall off. And you make it to the top of the rocky outcropping where Raccoon was standing guard. You are able to, from your vantage point, see very clearly beyond the wall of rubbish, and you see lavish tents made of heavy canvas, guarded by armed goons from the Heavens Devils. And you see 2 gassers with their iconic masks rustling about the camp, moving money, gas tanks, and other supplies into a van.
I want to let my friends know, but I think that ends my turn. I don't think I'm going to be able to signal.
You can
to them
free
till
action speak.
Okay, well, instead of speaking, I'm going to kind of wave to get the attention of my friends.
Okay.
And then kind of like point in the direction of those dudes and make like a signal like bad over there.
Okay. Let's see everyone who is... let's have everyone roll for perception to see if you're able to catch Elijah's warning.
11.
10.
And Granny Glenda got a 7.
16 for Norlan.
21.
Norlan and Xxzantor are able to perceive that Elijah is communicating some sort of a warning about the area beyond the trash wall. It is now Remi's turn.
Are there like trees around?
There are. It's
Lots
a
of trees
heavily
everywhere?
dense forested area with rocks, trees, and also this wall of rubbish and a camp just beyond the wall of rubbish.
So Remi is really like what Elijah did with the rock. So she's trying to find like somewhere around like a 10-pound rock and maybe have her tail kind of like hurl it toward the gorilla.
Okie dokie. You're so what?
She doesn't want to go because she's terrified.
Sure,
this thing
yeah.
is huge, and she doesn't want to get up close.
So you can go ahead and roll for a ranged attack, and we'll use dexterity as the vehicle for that. I don't think you would add your proficiency bonus for. I don't think there's like a rock throwing proficiency, but you would add your dex bonus.
Okay. So a 13.
Alrighty. And that's with your bonus?
Yes.
Alright, so with your 13, you lash rock with your tail and hurl it upwards at the paralyzed gorilla man raccoon, and the rock flies wide and does not hit.
I am going to bonus action find like a medium-sized tree and climb like halfway up.
I don't...
Hide.
Yeah, sure. That's not a bonus action. That's just your movement. And if you'd like to move to a tree and climb up it, we'll do that same athletics or acrobatics skill check that we gave Elijah.
+7, come on, baby. 18.
All right, with your 18, you manage to scurry up a nearby tree, putting you adjacent to the large rock where Raccoon is standing. You manage to, because your rock did not connect, you are still stealthed, and so you will be able to... Oh, with that thought in mind, I suppose you would have dexterity on that, or not dexterity, you would have advantage because you're stealthed on your rock throw, so you can go ahead and roll that with advantage. If you'd like to give it one more try, we can retcon that if it worked.
She gets the bonus action hide too, if needed to be up in the tree.
D20.
Awesome. So
Nice.
yeah, with that advantage, we rewind the clock, and your rock hits Raccoon squarely in the center of his forehead, and this is going to be an automatic crit because he's paralyzed. So go ahead and roll double damage, and we'll say that rock is you wanted it to be a 10-pound rock, so let's have some fun with it. We'll give you a D10.
Yeah. No.
All right, so that's going to be 20 damage to Raccoon. And you see, although he cannot respond, there is a trail of blood coming down his face from where this rock hit him squarely in his forehead. And were it not for the paralytic magic holding him in place, he might fall to his knees at this moment. So you are now revealed, but you're going to run up in the tree and hide. So go ahead and make a stealth check to see if you're able to hide from the other members of this fight. You manage to slip into the tree unseen and create a cloak of mystery around yourself. It is now King Kenzie's turn. He is going to move quietly from his hiding place on the opposite side of the rocky outcropping where Raccoon was standing watch. He is going to move towards the large pile of rubbish serving as a wall for the Gassers camp.
Come on, Kenzie.
He is going to peer at the scene, taking in what Elijah Woodstone saw from the tall rocky outcropping, and realizing that there are many men with guns ready to cause harm, he is going to stay hidden and pass his turn while doing the same sort of sign language to the crew that danger is ahead. It is now Granny Glenda's turn.
So how far away is, let's see, is Granny Glenda from the wall, and specifically from the raccoon who is up on top of the wall?
So the raccoon is up on top of the rocky outcropping that everyone was hiding behind. So you are at that place. That's where you are.
Okay, so Granny Glenda is going to attempt to jump back and forth between the wall and the tree, kind of exposing more of her power than she typically would, because she's just so ready to get her grandson's ashes back, and she's convinced that Raccoon's gonna have them. So would that be an athletics check?
Yeah. So you're just like jumping between the rock and some tree that's nearby to do a.
The rocky outcrop, and is there a tree next to the rocky outcrop?
Yeah, there's lots of trees.
Okay, so yeah, I'm just a back and forth doing backflips between
Like a
it.
ninja?
And if I can, I'm going to attempt to land next to him.
You can.
Let's see. That is going to be an 18 on my acrobatics.
Yeah, so with your 18, Granny Glenda, like the spry fox folk that she is, jumps back and forth between the tree and the rocky outcropping until she backflips to land directly behind Raccoon's paralyzed form. Whoa.
Yeah, so as a bonus action, she's going to really quick dip one of her needles into some of the killing poison, not the sleeping poison,
she is feeling particularly angry and like she wants to get her revenge on this man. So dips her needle in the poison, and then she's gonna swing for his back, right between the shoulder blades.
All right, you'll be making this with advantage.
That is going to be a 25 to hit.
All right, let's get some damage, and remember this is an automatic crit, and you're going to roll double dice for everything. So that's going to be the damage for your needle, that's going to be the damage for your sneak attack, and the additional D4 for your poison. All of that is going to be doubled.
Wow.
Let's
Okay,
go,
great.
Grandma.
Yeah. So let's see. So that's going to be 8 damage for the attack, and then 15 for the sneak attack. And how much was the poison damage to?
A D4.
A D4. And then 3, so...
All right, so what's that all added together?
No, it's going to be 28 damage.
All right, so with the precision of a trained and skilled assassin, you slip your blade into the most vulnerable part of Raccoon's rib cage and spinal column, sliding your dagger directly into his heart.
Yeah, so, you can tell she's pretty upset with this guy, and she's very much looking to get her revenge, so she's gonna slide it into his heart, and as she's pulling it back out, she's gonna kind of kick him to see if he falls over there.
Raccoon falls to the ground 15 feet below to land on the rocks in front of Brody Malone and Norlan the good boy.
Whoa, whoa!
Damn, Granny, that might have been the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, she's just cackling.
I'm so glad you're on my side.
So it is now Norlan's turn.
Norlan's gonna hop up as the body kind of lands next to him, and he hears the head kind of thud on the rocks, like in squish. And he kind of looks at the body, and he'll look up at Granny and go, "I had that. I could have handled that. Thank you, though. I do appreciate it."
As a refresh, there is, although you have defeated the lookout, you are standing behind a rocky outcropping, which is the first line of defense before a wall of rubbish that surrounds a large and lavish, well-equipped camp. The guards of this camp are aware of your presence as they were warned by Raccoon, and so we are still in initiative.
Alright, so I lose half my movement from standing up.
That's correct.
Alright, so that means that I had 35 feet of walking speed, so half of 35 is 12 and a half feet. 17.
17 and a half feet.
No good math.
Don't worry about moving the pieces, and please exclusively talk into the microphone. I'll move the pieces for us.
Norlan is going to creep closer to the camp. He's going to try and be a little bit more stealthy than he just was, having fallen flat on his back.
With your 17 feet of movement, you're able to get past the first rocky outcroppings and approach the wall of rubbish that guards the camp. And you can roll for stealth to see if you're able to do this stealthily.
Norlan got a 17 for stealth.
So this time, dealing with your own interior monologues chastising you for falling on your back, you move with the grace of a cat as you approach the rubbish wall. You are currently undetected. Is that your turn?
I believe that'll be my turn. I'm not going to take any further actions.
If I don't believe you've used an action, so if you want to dash, that's still an option. But
I will dash then. I'd completely forgotten that I could dash, even though I had half my movement speed. So I'll dash so I can take cover.
Yeah, and that'll give you that extra 35 feet back.
Yeah,
so.
I want to take cover kind of behind the trash wall and see if I can peer out behind it to spy.
Yeah, sure.
They have not seen me yet.
So I mentioned earlier that the body fell by Brody. Brody is up by this trash pile of wall as well. He had already moved up. You moved to the far side of the wall relative to where Brody is, so that you're both able to get independent views. You can see clearly that the Gassers and Heaven's Devils in the camp have armed themselves and are about to bring battle to the group. Is that end your turn?
That definitely ends my turn now, yeah.
So the camp where the Heaven's Devils and Gassers are has 2 Gassers and 2 Heaven's Devils at it. One of the Heaven's Devils is brandishing a shotgun, and he is going to move towards the rocky outcropping. Having not seen Brody or Norlan approach, he's going to target at Granny Glenda, who just took down their Wook guard. He takes aim with his shotgun and shoots. Does a 14 hit Granny Glenda?
It does not. 16 is my AC.
He aims his shotgun at Granny Glenda, cocks the barrel, and pulls the trigger. A hail of pellets fly around Granny Glenda, but not one hits her old form.
Nice try, sucker.
He bird-shotted when he should have buck-shotted.
In response, the second Heaven's Devil is going to pull a pair of pistols from his hips and aim them at Granny Glenda and Elijah Woodstone. He makes his first attack at Granny Glenda, and it looks as though his gun has jammed. He rolls a natural 1, and he looks down at the gun in his right hand, pulling the trigger to no avail. He then, in frustration, points his second gun at Elijah Woodstone. Elijah, does an 8 hit?
It does not.
These Heaven's Devils enforcers seem to be beside themselves as they are taken by surprise with this invasion in their, what they see as their sovereign territory of this festival. They are unable to get a shot off on the lurking intruders on the rocky outcropping above. It is now Xxzantor's turn.
So Xantor's just like seen so much go on in this short amount of time, and he's just like, man, this is great, is what he's thinking in his head. And he looks over there at Brody, and he's like, hey man, you gonna search that body, right? Because he's very concerned with like what the bodies have, so he's just hollering at Brody real quick before he moves.
Yep, Brody is already. When earlier I said the body fell by Brody, I did mention it. I was mistaken. Brody had already moved up, and he is by the trash wall, so he wasn't there. It was only Norlan who the body fell by, and Norlan has moved. So the only person still near the body at all would be Xxzantor.
Xantor's going straight for that body and searching it real quick. And he knows it's in the middle of a battle, but you know, you guys you get it, right? So he's searching this little sniper scout person real quick before he moves any further.
So you go up and you see that this Wook has very little on him. He's wearing very little clothing, but he does have a pouch on his hip. If you'd like, you could open that pouch.
Yes, sir.
Inside the pouch is a small golden appearing device that spins, and it seems like it has a bit of a natural turn to it, as though it moves of its own accord. You would recognize this item as an astrolabe.
Awesome. So he like pockets that real quick, and then kind of scoots on over around.
Would I see that? Would Remi see that in the tree? Oh, she's in the tree.
Not very. You could roll for perception to see if you saw that. Yeah, sure. You are within line of sight.
And Xxzantor, I imagine, would like know that this is like what an astrolabe is, and like because she told me what it was.
Yeah, she mentioned her item, and I think it would be right to say that Xxzantor would know it was her.
He doesn't have any intention on stealing it. He's just grabbing it and going on.
Neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's.
So Remi rolled an 11.
So Remi does not notice that Xxzantor found this, although it sounds like out of character. We have the confidence of Ryan Roy here, and he said that we're definitely not stealing it from.
Yeah, and Xxzantor has no intention of taking this. If he's looking for stuff that's not part of his parties to steal. So anyway, he like moves around. Xxzantor would go around the rock crevice and kind of like, if he's going near the tree that Remi's in, he would like jingle it at her and like toss it up to her.
Sure. So Xxzantor's used most of his movement to approach the body, but you could still use your action to dash if you'd like to move closer to where Remi is. Remi is about 30 feet away in a tree, further around the perimeter. So the trees and the rocky outcroppings are making a semicircle around this camp as you approach, and you're currently in the middle of that semicircle. Remi is about 30 feet to your right along the curve.
So that would be my main action, is to get that extra movement?
Yes.
Do I have Drake with me, presumably, or would he be back on the van? I mean, I would think I'd always take
We
him
never
on these
talked
things.
about it. You sent him back for safety earlier, and we did not mention him coming back, but he is your pet, and perhaps he has been silently with us this whole time, if that makes sense to you.
I would like, maybe he can go, but I could still have an action to summon or an action to dash. So in this moment, like, Xxzantor would be like, go ahead and use that dash action to like get up more around the initial pile of trash to kind of get a better view on everything, and plus like I guess use a bonus action to maybe toss, or that is an action to throw a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess use a bonus action just to be like, hey, Remi Riz, like, look, check it out, and he like shake the astrolabe, like, to show her that he's got this thing.
Alrighty.
Toss it to you next turn. And then that's it. That would be the end of his actions.
All right. It is now the Gassers' turns, and they are going to stop milling about the camp and begin to move towards the commotion coming from the woods, specifically the tree where they just heard someone yelling. They use their full movement speed to get outside the perimeter, and they pass on either side by Norlan the Good Boy and Brody Malone. You each have an opportunity attack if you'd like to take it.
Norlan's definitely taking that opportunity attack.
I think Brody would just try to trip him.
All right. So, Brody, you could go ahead and roll. We'll call it an attack, and if it succeeds, they'll trip. And Norlan.
Do I have advantage on this attack, or is it just a straight attack roll?
I think it would be just a straight attack roll.
Okay. Does 16 hit?
16 hits.
I rolled an 18. I don't know what you want to plus on that, but I think
18 hits. Yeah. So, one of the Gassers is tripped while the other one takes a fist to the chest. Give us some damage there, Norlan.
Let's see here. That was a solid roll. I rolled 12 damage. It was a heavy punch. I caught him right across the jaw as he was coming around the cars.
Awesome. So as you crack this fellow's jaw, his attention turns immediately to you, Brody. You drop the second Gasser to to fall to his face in the dirt, mud, and rocks of the mountain forest. He's going to use the rest of his movement to get up, and they are going to attack at Norlan and Brody respectively. The noxious fumes that begin to pour from their gas masks surround your faces. Brody, you are, I assume that a 3 does not hit?
No.
You have successfully fuddled this fellow by tripping him, and so when the gas is released, they are simply blown away by the wind.
Have a nice trip. See you next fall, bro.
Unfortunately, Norlan, I believe that a natural 20 is going to hit you, right?
That definitely hits, for sure, yeah.
Alright, so that's going to be 4d6 and damage, and then I'm going to need you to roll a DC 14 con saving throw.
46. The average is over half.
18 on the con save.
So you will take no poison damage and are not poisoned. However, you will take 13 damage as you breathe in a lungful of these gases and it burns you from the inside.
Norlan's, he's growling at him, baring his teeth, but as he's growling, he takes in a huge waft of gas and he's going like,
I hate to laugh at a dog coughing up a hairball, but it is now back to the top of the key, and with Raccoon's death, it is officially Brody Malone's turn.
Where's Kenzie in all this?
Kenzie is hiding. So again, we described the outer wall as a semicircle. Inside that is a inner wall of rubbish and trash, making a second semicircle that's broken in the middle, so that there's a path in. Brody and Norlan are hidden behind the right arc of the trash wall. Our cleric, King Kenzie, is hidden behind the left arc of the trash wall on the opposite side, probably 60 or so feet from Brody.
Well, I see that, I would probably see that Norlan got hit, and... Can I do a bonus action and an action that are... They're both spells, but one's a cantrip?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, cool. I'll look at one like, whoa, bro, that's not cool at all, man. What the hell, dude? And then I'll look at the other guy and I was like, you need to back the fuck off of my new friend. And I'll bonus action healing word. Once again, Brody has no idea that he's like doing this. He's just giving him words of encouragement. But yeah, he's gonna healing word Norland. Okay, so that's 6 points of healing for you.
So Norlan's like kind of blinking one eye and like foaming at the mouth and he kind of like wipes the foam away and he starts kind of panting like a little bit easier, like.
And then Brody would probably like, whoa, man, you just need to back off, you scuzz bucket.
How many hit points was that?
6. Scuzz bucket was one of the words in the list that you gave me. and I'll hit him with vicious mockery. So he's got to make a wisdom DC 14 save.
He fails.
So he takes 2 points of psychic damage, and he has disadvantage on his next attack throw.
All right. And this is the same one that Norlan punched in the jaw?
Yeah.
All right. Is that your turn?
That, I would probably... God, what would Brody do? Oh, man, this is really heavy. I think he would try to back up a little bit and get out of there.
There is a guy right on you. If you move, you'll trigger an opportunity attack.
He doesn't know that. he's just trying to get the hell out of there.
All right. So as you attempt to back away, the insidious fumes come out of the Gasser's mask once more, and a green cloud surrounds your face and body. Does a 17 hit Brody?
Oh, yeah.
With the 17, Brody is going to take...
Gets right through the festival.
8 points of damage, and we're going to need you to make a DC 14 con save to see if you're poisoned.
Was that the guy who tripped?
That was the guy who tripped.
8 points of damage, you said?
Yeah, and then a con save.
Oh, +0. This should be fun.
We all wish Brody well.
Natural 20.
Woo! All right. Woo! Brody is effectively manages to escape the poisonous cut of the gas, but your lungs still burn from the caustic nature of the gas.
Oh, man, that's a heavy hit. That's worse than a bong hit.
Where does Brody move? Will he go further to the right around the camp? There is a rocky outcropping that butts up with the trash wall, or you could go to the left, closer to King Kenzie, but you would have moments of being out in the open where the people of the camp could see you.
I think I would definitely be heading towards old buddy, old pal King Kenzie.
All right, so you cut across the woods near the trash wall and move towards King Kenzie.
Whoa, bro. This is insane. How did you meet these people? That grandma came out of nowhere, was bouncing off the walls and stuff.
My goodness, yes, they are quite incredible warriors. Who would have thought we would have need of such things? This is the Valley Jam, after all.
Valley Jam.
It is now Elijah Woodstone's turn.
All right. The one that just tried to attack him but missed. They're kind of right directly underneath me.
That's correct.
So I'm looking down.
You're on
over
this
the top
rocky
of 'em.
outcropping, and they're directly underneath Elijah would be the gasser that has not been attacked yet, that was tripped by Brody, and a little further ahead would be the gasser that has been hit by Brody and Norlan.
All right. Elijah's gonna jump off of the cliff. And I'll cast Featherfall. So I come down like Mary Poppins, and I just start vomiting acid on top of the one that's knocked down closest.
Is the acid cone a 15-foot?
15-foot cone.
So you could theoretically hit both.
If I can hit both without hitting Norlan, that would be my goal.
You could, yes.
All right. So I'd be floating down. You see a big elk person floating down, and then vomit acid all over these two gassers.
So, what is the DC on that saving throw?
That's a dex of 15.
And we can all see this at this point, I think, right? Okay. That's awesome. Awesome.
Right. So the one that is closest to you succeeded. The one that is closest to Norlan has failed. Give us some damage.
Alright, this is going to be 3d6 for 10 points of acid damage. And I guess, is it half? Let me see here.
Yeah, it'll be halved for the other fellow. So describe the blow as you end the life of this gasser.
Alright, so Elijah's just floating down, and like you see him starting to belch. And then he just like uncontrollably starts to vomit, but just aims it like at the two of them. And then the one that he hits that dies here is like takes the brunt of it. He gets like a second belch, and Elijah's just like, this hurts me as well. And he's floating down all soft, and he kind of just floats down right next to the corpse of this guy, like as it's like the acid is just literally like eating him away, like disintegrating his body.
Yeah, so that's pretty gnarly, bro. Remi, it's your turn.
So it's known that I can see my astrolabe. With
Yeah, he
waved
it out.
So Remi's super hyper focused on that metal, so she's gonna climb down and thank you so much, Xxzantor. This means so much to me. And I start like making like squeaky noises, and then I'm like, all right, let's pull it together. It's shredding time. So I grab it from him and I turn around, and what do I see?
When you come down from the tree, roughly 20 feet in front of you is the last gasser. There are trees all around. The rocky outcropping is shielding the last gasser slightly, but you can see that there's the melted body of the gasser that took the brunt of Elijah's attack. The other is poised and ready to lash out at Norlan.
I have a quick side question for you about movement. What you were just doing, like jumping out of a tree or something like that. Is gravity taking over, and that's not part of your movement speed if you jump most of the way down?
I climb down.
There's surely a lot of ways to interpret that. In this case, that's the way I'm choosing to look at it. Is that I'm not.
I wish I had more room to get.
Specifically, I'm not imposing the movement speed while climbing is halved, and so since you're climbing down and it's a short distance that wouldn't cause damage naturally, I'm just sort of hand waving that half movement.
Gotcha.
Okay. And I have 40 feet.
So you would have
total.
30
So
feet of
30
movement remaining because it was you're about 10 feet up in the tree.
All right. So I'm going to. I see that he's I guess has his focus on Norlan, so I would like to sneak attack with my rapier at the gasser.
Alrighty, go ahead and make that attack.
It's kind of wonky, but
That's wonky. That's a wonk.
yeah, let's roll that. All right, dirty 20.
With your dirty 20, you're going to successfully hit. Give us some damage. Make sure to include that sneak attack damage.
For everyone listening at home, a wonk is when the dice lands a little crooked against the edge of the wall and you re-roll it.
6 plus 11. Nice, so 17.
My goodness, describe the blow.
Nice. So, with Remi's like new confidence, she has her astro blade in her possession. She's like, "This is for my astrolabe," and just rapiers him right straight through the heart.
My goodness, he falls to the ground, dead. There are 2 Heaven's Devils Enforcers remaining, and it is King Kenzie's turn. Seeing that the battle has swung fully in favor, he is going to leap on top of the trash pile that he is hiding behind, and he's going to shoot a guiding bolt at the shotgun-wielding enforcer.
Yeah, bro. You get him. You got it.
He rolled a 16, which is going to hit. Yeah. Does anybody remember the damage on a guiding bolt? Is it 2d8?
3d8, I believe.
Great.
It might be 4.
I definitely believe Fox's instincts on that one.
Yeah, Fox is our raw guy. Raw meaning rules as written, folks. But Fox also likes it.
I'm a stickler.
Xxzantor is learning so much this evening.
Oh, it's 46.
Yeah, 46. Yeah.
All right. So he's going to deal 13 damage, and the next attack against the shotgun-wielding enforcer is going to have advantage. It is now Granny Glenda's turn.
Okay, so looking out, roughly how far away is the shotgun wielding?
So Granny Glenda is up high on the rocky outcropping and is roughly 50 to 60 feet away, and also 20 feet in the air.
Okay.
So you're pretty far from them.
Is there like a nice line of trees between the where I am at the rocky outcropping?
No, not really. Between the rocky outcropping and the wall is more open. The trees are more in that arc, that semicircle arc with the rocks. It is a bit open there.
Okay.
I will remind you have a pistol.
Oh, I forgot we got that. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, so what is the range on the pistol? 60?
Yeah, I think it's 6120.
Okay. So yeah, I will pull out the pistol and attempt to shoot the shotgun wielding.
You have advantage.
Oh, great.
So I pulled out my gun.
Does a 17 hit?
A 17 hits.
Okay.
And remember that you will add your sneak attack because it was with advantage.
Oh my goodness. So what is the damage on a pistol?
Yeah, let's see here. I have it written down somewhere. 2d8 piercing damage, plus your dex modifier.
Okay.
You are probably not proficient in this currently.
So let's see. It's gonna be 20 damage to him.
Describe the blow.
Oh wow, yeah. So Granny Glenda kind of flips around this interesting metal contraption, which she hasn't really, I'm assuming, hasn't really seen much of, being a dagger and knife wielder most of her life. So she just points it in his general direction and kind of fumbles with it to try to figure it out, and accidentally hits the trigger, and it just hits him right in the right eye, and he collapses.
And it takes him down. There is one Heaven's Devil Enforcer remaining.
Oh wait, and I also wanted to, for my movement, pull out my dagger and kind of stab it into the side of the wall and slide down the side, and potentially move to a place so they have to walk.
All right, let's go ahead and roll for acrobatics.
Okay.
Because this is quite a bit further down than the tree. This is more like a 20-foot drop.
Alrighty.
It's gonna be badass though.
I rolled a 10.
Well, it looks very cool, but you don't land very smoothly, and we're gonna say that you'll take half fall damage on that. We'll give you 1d6 of damage, and it only rolled a 1, so you're gonna take 1 damage as you land and sort of turn your ankle.
Yeah, she's gonna play it off like that did not happen.
It is now Norlan's turn.
All right, Norlan is no longer in any immediate danger, right? The guy who was threatening him is
That's
dead.
correct. Both gassers have been killed. The only fighter remaining is the singular Heaven's Devil Enforcer, about 15 feet in front of Norlan, beyond the trash wall.
Norlan's gonna rush him and just come up in his boxing stance and come in with a heavy right cross right and across the guy's dome.
All right, roll for attack.
21.
All right, give me some damage.
8 damage with my right cross.
All right, is that your turn?
I'm gonna actually action surge, so I can bite this fool.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna action surge. I'm going to use my jaws and bite down on his butt if I can. Ooh, 25 to bite him. I guess that
hits for sure.
Yeah, when I bite him, my jaws actually lock, and we are now in a grapple. Me being a bulldog, my jaws lock when I bite. giving me the ability to grapple.
Awesome. Does it? What's the damage? Or does it deal damage as well?
It does. 1d4 plus 4 piercing. 5 damage on the bite.
So you gut him with a punch and then bite down and have grappled this individual. It is that Heaven's Devil's Enforcer's turn, and he is going to grunt in anger, and grab his pistol, and attempt to shoot Norlan at point blank range. Does a 17 hit?
Oh, yeah.
Who shoots a puppy?
So Norlan's going to take 10 damage as a shot goes through his right shoulder. Unfortunately for the Heaven's Devil Enforcer, that is all that he is able to do, and it is now Xxzantor's turn.
So Xxzantor just get within like crossbow range and like pop a bolt over there towards him.
All right, go ahead and roll for attack.
11.
An 11 does not hit. Xantor's bolt flies wide.
Even like just try to get as close as possible, and if you can, like try to push the dude over if he's got enough.
You're about 50 feet from the Heaven's Devil's Enforcer, and you are unable. You could move closer, but you cannot get close enough to interact with him.
Yeah, so let's get as close as he can. And then maybe do like a bonus like in place jump action, like a backflip or something, and be like, "Told you, we're gonna burn your asses. You're all dead." Something like that.
Okie dokie.
Right. That'd be acrobatics.
Sure.
He's just really trying to rub it in because like we just went in and decimated everybody. 16.
Yeah, you do exactly as described. The backflip is beautiful.
Thank you, DM.
It is now back to the top of the key, and it is Brody Malone's turn.
I guess I would kind of look up at Kenzie and be like, oh my God, this is far out, bro. This is a lot. There's a lot of things happening, but you look like you're doing a good job, though. And I'm gonna give him a bardic inspiration, so I'll give him a D6.
All right.
And then
thank you, sir.
I was like, I guess he would probably throw the broken bottle at the last guy.
All right, go ahead and roll for attack. It's going to add your dexterity bonus.
12.
Unfortunately, 12 does not hit. The bottle flies wide and smashes against a nearby rock. It is now Elijah Woodstone's turn.
So Elijah is gonna, from where he landed and seeing this combat action and this last biker, he's gonna, if 35 feet of movement will cover it, I'm gonna charge into him with my antlers.
Alrighty, yeah, go ahead and make that attack.
Okay, full speed.
I'm currently biting him and holding on to him, by the way. All right.
You might go flying too. That's an 11 to hit.
Unfortunately, 11 does not hit. You will have advantage because he's flanked and being grappled.
All right, that's much better. That's a 22 to hit.
The 22 hits. Give us some horns.
And, I forgot, because of my silver, it's a D8 plus 4 now, instead of a D6 plus 4. Oh, I rolled a 2, though, so 6 points of horny damage.
All right, he is getting pummeled by the crew as Norlan has punched and bitten him. Elijah Woodstone has jammed him with the horns. He shows no sign of giving up this fight, however. It is now Remi Riz's turn.
Alright, I am going to pull my sword out of that heart and sneak attack the gasser.
Alrighty.
Oh wait, where am I?
Yeah, so Remi
I
just killed the last gasser
gasser
last turn, and you're about 30 feet from the final enforcer who's in the middle of the camp beyond the wall.
Yeah.
be here. And so the last enemy is there.
Alright,
If you'd like to move up on that last enemy, you can.
I will do so.
All right, go ahead and roll for attack.
23.
23 hits. Let's get some damage.
$11.
All right.
Piercing damage.
Describe the blow.
Alright, so Remi is she's kind of like running on all fours, and she kind of like slides in and goes under like the chin of the gasser and just like stabs up through the brain.
And his life is over. That's going to end initiative. Combat is complete. The area around you is strewn with blood, gore, and violence. The bodies of Wooks, Gassers, and Heaven's Devils can be seen. It looks like most of the camp was loaded up into the van that got away while you were dealing with Raccoon. But there are still some supplies and high-quality tents in the area that you can explore, and you're welcome to attempt to loot any of the bodies.
Norlan is going to take the pants off of one of the dead guys. I'm assuming one of them is at least wearing blue jeans.
Yeah, the Heaven's Devils fellows have on leather pants, black leather pants, and the Gassers have on jeans.
Norlan's going to grab a pair of leather pants and slide those bad boys on over his long johns.
They are a little too tight, and
He's going to take off his long johns and put on the
form-fitting leather pants squeeze to Norlan's muscular lower half.
Norlan's going to kind of flex, and he's going to be like, my word, it's like I'm wearing nothing at all.
And we'll call this like leather armor for the use of AC.
Xxzantor would search for like bullet stuff to make bullets, ammo, any kind of other armor. That's all he really cares about. And
yeah. So roll for perception.
Granny Glenda's gonna be kind of frantically searching in hopes of finding her grandson's ashes.
Roll for perception, Granny Glenda.
Xxzantor got a 20.
All right, Xxzantor, you find that the shotgun-wielding Heaven's Devil damaged his shotgun when he died, but there are 4 shotgun shells on his belt, and the belt itself, the belt that he's wearing is like a bandolier that can be used to hold shells if you'd like to take that belt.
He does, and wraps it around himself proudly.
I rolled an 11.
Granny Glenda, searching frantically through the remains of these gangsters, through the tents, through the remaining supplies, finds no evidence of Parker's ashes.
Any sign of my book anywhere?
Roll for perception.
Parker, is that your kid's name?
Grandson.
Grandson, got it.
14.
Elijah Woodstone sees no sign of the Elder's book. As you're searching, you do find a lockbox. It is locked. It is a small lockbox, roughly the size of a briefcase, made of heavy metal.
Any of y'all know how to open this thing before I just start smashing it?
Granny Glenda just like snatches it up and sticks a twig in it real quick and pops it around.
Xantor's also looking for chains, if there's any chains laying around that he can grab his weight worth.
All right. There are no chains.
That's going to be an 18 to unlock with sleight of hand.
Granny Glenda's 18 cracks open the lockbox, and it opens, revealing $5,000.
Whoa, we just hit the jackpot. Now Elijah's gonna walk over to like the side of one of these like big stones, find himself a nice salted mineral deposit and start licking it to help him deal with this indigestion from that acid vomit he just threw up.
As Elijah soothes himself with the natural minerals of the earth, a rustling sound like the approach of many large individuals comes to your ears, and the faint smell of bacon hits your nostrils.
I smell pigs.
Elijah's just gonna lift his head up, alert, and look around.
All right, guys, we got to get our story straight. How did this go down?
Get our story straight, Brody. We've got to get the fuck out of here. Let's go.
Let's run.
I agree. Yeah.
Better idea. Totally gotcha.
You see King Kenzie, sort of panic-stricken, take off in the opposite direction of the sound of the individuals. He's going to run through the woods. Do you all follow?
Absolutely, yeah.
Norlan definitely follows.
Would I have time to set the campsite on fire?
You could, yeah, sure.
And Xantor's debating on leaving the radio at the burning campfire as like evidence.
Yeah, I'm gonna
as well.
pull out my tinderbox real quick and just get like a little started, and then I'll control flames it and make it big enough to like kind of just.
That's
set it on
great.
fire.
Smoke begins to fill the area, a darker, blacker smoke than the acrid smoke that previously shrouded the camp. You hear yelling in the distance as the Fuzz discovers the slowly building embers.
Xantor does not throw it.
He does not. He said. Did he say he was going to? And then
He looked
keeps
at the
it?
fire and he looked at the radio and like decided not to.
Decided to keep it.
Yeah, but turns it off so there's not like noise or anything.
Remi, you following us?
Yeah, I'm following.
All right.
Granny Glenda is following.
The group takes off through the woods, and I'm going to need you all to roll a stealth check with advantage because of the distraction to see if you're able to get away.
Norlan's gonna skew stealth, and he's just gonna book as fast as he can.
Alrighty. So, Norlan, go ahead and roll a d20, and we're going to subtract your roll from everyone else's.
11.
Remi has a 23.
Granny Glenda got a natural 20.
Xantor
wow.
got a 17.
Dude, thankfully you gave us advantage. I rolled a natural 1 and then a 7.
I rolled a 13.
22.
All right. So, although Norlan has taken off with it in no regard to stealth and manages to gain a great lead at the cost of silence, the Fuzz following still do not hear the group leaving. Granny Glenda, with the expertise of one long on the run, grabs sticks and rocks as she's running to throw them in different directions to give the impression that the group has split and run on different trails. And King Kenzie, his still in the lead, seemingly going on a chaotic path, makes a left turn, then a right turn, then another left, then another left. Then he continues straight, and then you hear sounds in the distance, the sound of music, and the sound of crowds, and you see lights, and suddenly you are back in the midst of the Valley Jam, coming through the woods into the vendor's area. You see that the final band for the evening has just completed, and you hear festival goers saying things like, "Man, what was that? That was so cool. I love what? Who played? What played? Yo, it was awesome. It was such a great set. Oh my God, I love what? Who do you love? I love what?" And it seems like the headlining act for the first night of the festival has put on an excellent show. The crowd of
thousands of various hippies from all walks of life make their way back to the campground.
We could kill any of these people.
No, Xxzantor, we cannot. Only the pigs. And the Wooks.
Well, and all those other folks. I mean, we actually didn't kill any pigs.
Yeah, we could, though. We could. Like, we could kill We're badass. That's what I'm saying. We're like badass.
Only if they try to hurt us first. Gotta have some sort of code.
Brody, what? Dude, do you like what? Where did you learn to do that, man?
I have no idea, bro. That was some of the craziest stuff I've ever seen. That guy didn't even move. It was insane.
Yeah, this is great. We're awesome. You're awesome.
Those individuals smelled absolutely terrible, and their magic wands made quite a bit of noise.
Remi, did you get your thing back? It looks like you... I thought I saw in the midst of battle an exchange. Is that what you've been looking for?
It sure is. And then she pulls it out and then shows everybody.
How's that thing work anyway?
Well, I have a little spinner and it just makes decisions for me.
Like left or right? Up and down? Hot dogs or hamburgers?
A little more complex than up and down and left and right, but yes.
Sweet.
I sometimes have problems deciding between hot dogs and hamburgers and could see the use in something like that.
As PCP or LSD? Astro Dave, tell me.
As the group commiserates over the return of one of the treasured artifacts from times past, you see King Kenzie grow restless. I believe that we should probably use this opportunity to return to Camp Unseen. I bet we could go with the crowd and no one would notice us. I'm loath to retire early on the first night of the festival, but that was a bit much for me, and I would like to get some rest. I do still intend to enjoy the Warlocks tomorrow, after all. I just don't know. Maybe let's just go back and diddle around on our instruments and have some beers and smoke, and I just need to put this in the past.
I am quite confused. Are you not a king? We had a successful battle. Should we not feast and frolic in victory?
I suppose that's what I mean, is feasting and frolicking, but not here, for we are, and I'm not a king, that's just my name. But the thing is that, well, you know, we just were involved in something that had the murder of 3 members of the Fuzz. We've left lots of bodies and, in fact, a fire. We should return to camp.
They were obviously evil wizards. I'm still not sure what the problem is.
Well, the moral there, I know that in the past it was normal for mercenaries and knights and warriors to fight like this, but in the modern era that we currently occupy, why, there would be... we would end up in jail. We would go to courts. We would have to hire attorneys and perhaps deal with criminal charges for what we perceive as self-defense. We must prove in a court of law in front of a jury of our peers.
I completely agree with both of you.
Yeah, it makes sense. Camp's great. Which way to camp?
I think we should head towards camp and blend into this crowd at the same time.
Halfway through King Kenzie's speech, Norlan got distracted by a bug and was like trying to eat it.
Xxzantor's like getting with Brody, being like, "Hey man, what's PCP?"
If you don't know, then you don't need to be tried it, man.
Y'all, that crowd's starting to move. Let's make our way in there.
I agree, let's go.
As the crowd carries you back to the campgrounds, you make the split to return to the van where Penny Lane, Owlsley, John Paul wait, along with Drake Farkslot. You see that Owlsley has prepared a feast and is offering it as you return. Why, hello! You see, I've been working for so long, and I've made for you all some delicious treats. These will be wonderful, and you see that his eyes are big and round, and he is holding out for you what are pieces of bread toasted over a
fire on a skillet with melted cheese product in between. You're being offered grilled cheeses at a festival.
So Remi is very aroused by the smell of cheese, and but she's not very sure what kind of cheese it is from this era, and she's just sniffing in the air and is like, "What kind of cheese is that?"
Well, I believe it's called Lundian cheese. It's the simplest of cheeses, really. It might not even actually be cheese, but everyone eats it and it smells so nice. Ooh!
And if you don't take it from him, he's going to just and take a bite out of it, and then turn around, and there is a smorgasbord, a small mountain of grilled cheeses on a small folding table underneath an easy-up tent in your camp.
I'm going to take a grilled cheese from Owsley. Man, I did it again.
Owsley.
Norlan takes several grilled cheeses.
And talk to Owsley about some of the magic that I did just now and how that was pretty intense, and we are kind of on the run.
Oh, wait, what happened with you in the woods with the fuzz? There's smoke, and I've heard chatter from security, but it seems like things might not have gone so well.
We ran into the Gassers making camp with those biker fellas, as I think they were called, the guys in the leather, and they were up to some nonsense together, and they attacked us, so we just defended ourselves, and they are no more.
It may be problematic in the court of law, Owsley. We're going to have to deal with consequences and repercussions in the future, but for now we must enjoy ourselves.
King Kenzie gets very serious. He grabs a grilled cheese, and frowning, he bites it and chews it for a long time, and then he goes and sits by the fire pit and ponders.
I think we burned it all down anyway, and Xxzantor says as he casually grabs a sandwich and starts eating.
One of those guys is unrecognizable because I devoured him with acid from my own mouth.
Were you able to get any supplies or anything useful?
We got this radio here. If you want to keep it in camp, it'll let us track their movements.
We found Remi's astrolabe, but that's about it.
Oh.
We also got $5,000.
Mike, woohoo! And you see his eyes that were already like pancakes, like just go huge, like giant silver, like moons, and he's just $5,000.
We can buy a lot of cheese with that.
We are going to have so many grilled cheeses, and he's going to spin and start shooting. He points his little owl like feather fingers into the air and starts shooting them like Yosemite Sam guns, like woohoo, woohoo! And he is clearly incredibly intoxicated, and he's going to retreat back to the van and close the door to the van and lock himself inside, where you see lights and hear sounds like a mad scientist's laboratory. Hey, how's it going, y'all? Sounds like you had a crazy night. Well, at least we've got grilled cheeses. Xxzantor, I know you're all probably ready for bed, but maybe you'd like to play a song with me. I've been practicing, you know.
Heck yeah, it's been a bloody good day. Let me go get Drake. We'll get him out here. We'll start playing around a little bit. Do some smash, some pole smash. That's my
You're talking about the
anyway. Yeah.
The stick-a-thump.
Smash into the ground.
You called it the stick-a-thump before.
The stick-a-thump.
You're pretty good at it. You're better than me, at least. But
I'm getting there. JP. Where?
Does anyone else want to jam?
May I join? I don't have an instrument, but I can use my tail as a bass. Like a thud to the ground.
Oh, okay. I was kind of picturing like you pick it up and start plucking it.
Okay. That's even better
like a stand-up bass. That's better.
Yeah.
So
I'll bust out my harmonica.
As the night dwindles on,
Norlan joins the group as well, and he says, "Allow me to sing you the song of my people." And he starts howling along with the group as they're jamming.
Glenda, are you going to hear? I'm not jamming.
Granny Glenda actually pulls out an ocarina and plays that.
Alrighty. So, everyone who is joining in the jam, let's go ahead and roll for performance. So, John Paul got a 17, and as he plays, it seems like his practicing with Xxzantor has helped, and his rhythm is steady and strong, and he hears Norlan's howling, and he plays along in key, providing a context. And we're going to go around the table, and you can base what happens on how well you roll, and let's describe our jam.
Xxzantor got a 9, so he's like, he's a little tired. He's trying to keep up, and it's like, keeping in rhythm with his pole a little bit, and then he's like, just losing the rhythm every now and then, I would imagine, and like trying to speed up to catch back up. It's not pretty, so yeah, that's how he's doing. Lots of heart, not very good talent-wise.
Brody is just like trying to really. At first, he doesn't really do anything. He's just trying to get the feel of the beat and the rhythm, man, and then he just comes in at the perfect time with his harmonica, and he got a 26.
All right.
Bards, baby.
All right. Remi rolled a 13. I feel like she's pretty average, so she's just keeping a steady bass and just like doom 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 doom.
Is Elijah?
Eli's not playing an instrument, but he's going to have the campfire, some fire from the campfire, as well as water from the bucket next to it, kind of dance together.
Oh, cool!
And like a little fire water display that goes to the music.
So pretty.
Norlan got a 19, so his howling is actually pitch perfect with the music. And his pitch changes flow very nicely, so he's actually a pretty good singer/howler.
Yeah, as you guys play, your music has a beauty to it, an inviting aura that causes your neighbors to slowly drift towards your camp and peek through the tapestry wall that guards your space. And they yell out, "Yo, y'all got grilled cheeses, sweet jams. Can we come join? What are you guys doing?" And the festival goers all around, attracted by the experience at your camp, are going to come and attempt to join you all. Do you welcome guests at your camp?
Absolutely, bro. One love and all that stuff.
Totally, bro. Oh, dude, look, it's Brody. Guys, Brody's at this camp, and you see whoever's coming in, like, sort of wave, and 30 to 40 people all come in, yelling, shouting, like, "Oh, Brody's here! Cool! This is where it's at! It's happening!" And oh my God, Brody, I love him! So as this group gathers, you all play music, and the night goes on. The hours pass swifter than you could imagine. And soon, the sun begins to crest the horizon as you realize you have stayed up through the night, enjoying the festival. And we will pick up there next time, the morning of the second day of Valley Jam. Woo!
Round and around in the tunnel when it's dark we go, searching through the rubble for what wants to spark like a shout in the night. And the sight of the past, it can fill us with fear all night, though we know the wheel comes back after time. Oh, sweet time. And the soul will rise from the ashes. We will climb as we shout into the night. Let no man use my battle cry.
Wooks and Warlocks features Anthony Ryan as Xxzantor, the Bugfolk Ranger, Jesse Bennett as Granny Glenda, half Foxfolk Rogue, John Lombardi as Elijah Woodstone, the Elk Folk Wizard, and Trey Miller as Dungeon Master. Intro and outro feature the song Flight of the Phoenix by Tire Fire. Recording and editing are completed in-house by the Wooks and Warlocks team, recording consultation provided by Adam Horwitz. You can find us online at Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Discord under the name Wooks and Warlocks. Links can be found in the description. If you would like to sponsor an episode of Wooks and Warlocks, please contact us at wooksandwarlocks@gmail.com. Thank you for listening.
Words spoken in anger, vibrate like a neon sign in the mind's eye, multiplied by time and time again. It's those we love that we lose when we struggle with what's inside, just hoping for hope, something